Welcome back to the channel. It is the first snowfall of the season. I'm really excited to try out the back blade that I recently picked up as opposed to using the box blade. So that's the biggest test right now. I think you've got about 20 centimeters of snow. I'll put that in inches below. I think it's about 8 or so. And I'm just letting the BX warm up in the shed. Aiden is still working on his vehicles in the shop, so we're scrambling to get those done and put away. So right now the BX is in the house garage, but I'm just gonna take it out, bring it out here. I'll show you how it got set up, and then we'll start snowblowing. Okay, so anyone new to the channel, this is my BX23s. I have the BX2822A heavy-duty snowblower on the front. That is connected with the K-Connect, which system I really like. It runs the center PTO to the mid-mount mower section. And this year I've added a rear angled blade from our local Princess Auto, which is like your Harbor Freight. It is 6 feet wide, so it's just a bit wider than the tractor. I kind of wished it was a bit wider so I didn't have to get so close to things like the garage doors and whatnot, but we'll make it work. And the offshoot side sticks out further, so I could adjust this offset a bit with these extra holes you can see, but it's a bit too far. I don't want it to be that far off. So we're going to test it the way it is right now. I've also got it set up so it angles and shoots it off to the side, because I want to be able to come up against the garage here and pull it away, and then I'll make my way up and drag it. The other reason I want it is to be able to do in front of the house along the windrow at the edge of the property, so that when the snowplow goes by, it doesn't push it into my laneway. And what was happening is I'd be filling up the snowblower with rocks and stuff, and I don't want to avoid that. So that's why I went with an angle blade. When I was using the box blade, it would fill up with snow and rocks and stuff, and then it'd be very difficult to get it out there. It would kind of all fill in. So let's hope this is better. So I'm just gonna get started. We're going to do some initial passes, and we'll see how it goes with the angled blade. So let's get at it. Oh, so that's our first glimpse of what was happening. The back tires were just spinning on the ground. So with this heavy snow, I don't even have enough traction in two-wheel drive to pull this amount of snow. I've never had that problem with the box blade, but I don't think that's the problem. I think it's just because there's some icy stuff underneath. But now what I'm going to do, and I also tried to engage the diff lock, which is here. So you can see that, and both tires were spinning. So now I'm going to put it in four-wheel and just see what happens. And I will probably have to go and hit it with a bit more speed, but I was just testing it out before I get too close to the shop and the garage. So let's go. Well, didn't notice that for a while. I went and did the whole perimeter and down the road. Seems working good. I did catch on the pavers here. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I might just have to be careful on doing these sections for now. But I'll show you when we get up back to the road. The city just did new gravel on all the sides of the road, and it's very loose, so I've just dug it all up, which is a bad thing. I'll have to wait till it freezes more before I do that properly. But we're just going to continue doing along here and see if we can get the driveway cleared up a bit. So as you can tell, I'm much more proficient with the snowblower. I think it's coming out great. I will use the back blade to do up there and to pull it away from the garage and the shop. But my original thought was that I could just use the back blade to do the entire driveway, but I'd have to put it on more of an angle to get it to shoot out more, because as you saw, it was still pillowing on the inside, passenger side, which I don't really like. So I'll just keep going. I'm going to do this next little section. And the other thing you have to be careful of is the high-powered electrical lines, because the chute, when it's shooting snow and ice like that, could damage those. So if you have overhead lines, be aware of that. Alright, there goes Aiden. He's taking the Santa Fe out. I'm just going to clean up this stuff right here. All that. And we'll just wait till Aiden gets out of here. Make short work of that, and I'm just gonna do up at the road here, and I'll take you along for the ride because I did do that once, but I want to try to knock this down with the angle blade and just get this cleaned up a bit, and then I'll get this stuff done here. And this is where I took too much of the rocks out. They didn't even put it down nice because they didn't put it up against the asphalt, so that's their fault, not mine. Okay, I'm just gonna get this cleaned up and then we'll do there with the angle blade. All right, so that's the first snowblower of the year. I have a lot of learning to do with the angled blade. It's not like the straight blade at all. I have never had to go into diff lock on the rear. I've definitely used low and I've definitely used four-wheel drive, but I've never had to put diff lock on. And that blade challenged me with that today, especially in the loose gravel, which I knew was going to be a problem. The other thing that I used to do with my box blade, which I can't do with this one, is I used to use the rear blade so it would kind of scrape along as opposed to digging. And the problem that I ran into, is, which knocked the camera off, was I caught my bricks on my driveway. So I think I might have chipped one too. Yeah, I chipped it right here. So I don't have the ability to angle this one as much to get it to drag, unless, you know what? You know, that's not true. I could rotate the whole thing around. So right now, I'm gonna turn the tractor off. So right now I have it in pull mode, and you can see that the blades angle forward, so that's catching on everything. What I will do next time is I'm gonna rotate this around so that it's pulling the snow, but it won't be catching on everything. It'll ride over the bumps and stuff, and I think that'll make a big difference for when the ground isn't frozen yet, and that is definitely what's happening at the end of the road. So that's a good idea. I think I'll do that. I'll rotate it around so that I'm pulling, and it'll float over those kind of things as opposed to being cutting into it and hurting it. So thanks very much for watching. That was the first snowblower of the year on the 9th and 10th of November. So I will keep track again to how many snowblowers we do this year. I think this is on par for when we first get our first snow. Then we got a couple days where it's kind of nice and most of this will melt. But we'll keep it going. So thanks very much for watching. If you like this content, please give it a share. It really helps out the channel. We're growing nicely. If you're new here, I'm Ross from Ross on the Land. We take care of 6.5 acres, and we'll be doing a lot of snow blowing videos, snowblower maintenance through the winter. And thanks very much. We'll see you in the next one. What did you do on your land today? Because today we used the angle blade. I have to learn some more. On the BX with the front mount snowblower. Great combination. See you in the next one.